bottled water that ensures you live young, costing £6 for a small bottle in my hotel, would now spin in his tomb if he was here? I'm not so sure. Hidden history is always a key to the truth. 5 years before his great communist revolution.
Yeah, today is the 17th of January, 2025. Once again, it's the 17th of January, 2025. I just finished putting up the groceries in the house. Just purchased some groceries, and I put up most of the groceries. But yeah. But anyway, earlier today I did finish up 3 additional pages to the articles of the Economic Area of the Americas, and those 3 additional pages were on the democratization of the Republic of Cuba. Cuba is going to accept and officialize full democracy in the Republic of Cuba throughout the entirety of Cuba in 2026 with the signing and passage, the ratification of the Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas. So yes, we're going to democratize the Republic of Cuba completely, and Cuba has vouchered, for our efforts. And Cuba has sent in its own petitions for the most part, including a lot of, domestically popular government officials, whether known to the people or not, but they have vouchered for our separate and joint petitions to the United Nations and to the government of Cuba, to have Cuba become a democratic nation state, a fully democratic nation state. So once again, we sent petitions to the United Nations and to the government of Cuba to have Cuba be democratized by the beginning of 2026 via the ratification of the Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas. All right, so the entire hemisphere, the Western Hemisphere, will be completely democratized by 2026. That's exactly what we anticipate. This is honestly what we had in mind. This is honestly what we anticipate, and this is honestly what was going to occur in the year 2026. So right now, I'm finishing up the articles of the Economic Area of the Americas, and later on the second half of it, or at least the second part of it. There are only going to be 2 parts: the articles of the Economic Area of the Americas and the commercial codes of the Americas. The commercial codes of the Americas will be finished up this year, and I did explain. And I did explain that computer models and computations and tax attorneys, tax lawyers will work on the commercial codes of the Americas. I'll provide the constraint within the articles of the Economic Area of the Americas. You guys will see that when I'm complete. When I've completed the document itself, when I'm done with my work, when I'm complete at doing my job with respect to that particular document, the articles of the Economic Area of the Americas, you guys will see that there is a section which is devoted totally, completely, entirely to just the commercial codes of the Americas and its explanation and its details and what should be expected of it microorganically within the second part of the Treaty of the Americas, meaning the commercial codes of the Americas. So the section on the commercial codes of the Americas within the articles of the Economic Area of the Americas will literally provide the constraint which is going to affect the macro details and the importance of those codes to the Treaty of the Americas, to the Americas, and to the global community in moving forward to world government and identification with global society. Identification with global society. We are progressing toward that sort of end. I'm pretty sure that's obvious to the whole world. I'm pretty sure this is very obvious to Americans. Okay, so the Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas will be the first part of the Treaty of the Americas, and the Commercial Codes of the Americas will be the second part. And when I'm speaking of the Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas, I'm never saying article. I'm never saying the singular. I am always saying the multiple, the plural. All right, articles with an S. Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas. Okay, I don't want you guys believing that they are separate documents and that I'm referring to some sort of privately held or stored document whatsoever. I don't want you guys inferring that anymore in any sort of way. I've worked very hard. The Central Intelligence Agency has put in a lot of work and resources into protecting me while I do my job. I'm clearly the best out there, not just as an attorney or a jurist, but I'm clearly the best political thinker out there, I promise you. I've worked on this ever since childhood at becoming of that particular identity and stature. And I've done so humbly, and I accept that perception very humbly. I'm not a crazy person whatsoever, I promise you. No matter what I believe or what part of a secret society or social club I'm part of, or whatever you guys perceive of me, I am not a crazy or highly delusional person in any sort of way. Okay? So, yeah. I want you guys to understand this. Okay, guys? So, yeah, that's it. So tomorrow, I'm going to I'm going to work on I'm going to add 3 additional pages tomorrow. I'm going to finish 3 additional pages. I'm going to start in the morning, and by the end of the morning, by early afternoon, I will be done with 3 additional pages of the Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas, and those pages are simply are simply intended as focused on the details and the concepts of the economic area of the Americas outside the structure. So I'm gonna detail that the economic area of the Americas will be a customs union, will be a common and single market, and will be based on free market principles and systematization, and it will lead to the political union of the Americas, which will operate an open market, which incorporates each and every one of the concepts I've just noted, but without much restraints, restrictions, or burdens whatsoever on the system and people in general, government and people in general. So that's what I do have planned for tomorrow. So you can go to my blog site, Shawn Dexter John numeric 2.wordpress.com. Once again, Shawn Dexter John numeric 2.wordpress.com, Shawn Dexter John 2.wordpress.com, and you will be able to see on the first blog page what I've completed thus far regarding the Articles of the Economic Area of the Americas.